In my life, every Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night was always the same thing. It was time to get ready for church. Now, until about 3 to 4 years ago, church was always just this thing where we had Bible class on Sunday morning, and then we'd have this really long lesson after that, and then it was over. And after that, until, of course, 5 o'clock, we'd have evening worship service. And then we'd go again. And then there was always Bible class on Wednesday night, which was always fun. And after that, the week was over for church. When I was younger, church in my eyes wasn't always what it should have been. Really, one of my favorite reasons to go to church was to just play football in the church parking lot and just to hang out with my friends. But in the summer going into my 6th grade year, something clicked. I was at camp when all of a sudden, all I was thinking about was playing basketball or what we're going to do that night. But the guy doing the sermon that night, he just started talking, and I could not stop thinking about what the words that he was saying. And that's when it all clicked. All of a sudden, the lesson was over, and as soon as the invitation song had went on, I went to the front. I was so sure right then that I was ready to be baptized. So after the lesson, I was pulled aside and I was talking with my dad, and he started asking me all of these questions, and I knew absolutely nothing. I realized that I wasn't ready, but from then on, all that I wanted to do was learn. So every Sunday and Wednesday wasn't just a tradition anymore. I kept learning and learning, but as I got older and the years went by, this fear of not knowing enough only would grow. Even 2 years would go by, 3 years, 4 years, and even 5 years would go by, and I had not committed my life to Christ because of this fear of not knowing enough. One day, I was in the car with my dad, and he asked me that what was stopping me from committing my life to Christ. And he told me, and I told him that I do not think that I know enough. He told me that throughout the years, you're never going to know enough, or you're never going to know everything you need to know about the Bible. But we have all these years to just keep growing and growing. And that would stick with me. A couple months later went by, and it was July 17th, and we were back at camp. It was a Monday night, and I had been thinking about what my dad had told me all throughout the lesson, and I found myself walking up during the invitation song once again. I was in the same spot that I was in just 5 years earlier, but this time was different. This time, I wasn't just this 10-year-old kid anymore, and I was ready. I ended up getting baptized, and I haven't looked back since. After that, I thought my spiritual life was in the best shape it could possibly be in. And then a Wednesday night service came around, and we were in class, and my teacher would say, the only goal is to make it to heaven and bring as many people as I can with me. And I got to thinking about that statement, and I realized that I'm not doing as good as I thought. I even have this problem today, and I am too ashamed to spread the gospel. And it hurt, thinking that I thought I was doing better than I actually was. Of course, besides summer, besides Saturday and Sunday, I do the same exact thing, and that's go to school. I have friends in every single class that don't go to church. And I get through first period, and I don't think anything about it. And I think, I can just do it in second period and tell them then. But the kids in that class will probably just make fun of me the whole time. Then I get to third period, and I don't really know a lot of people in that class. And the sad part is, I have 7 different classes with different people in every class. That's 50 minutes per class period, 5 hours and 50 minutes every day, 30 hours in 1 week. To just mention Jesus' name one time. I always just use the excuse of I'll just do it another day. But how many excuses will I have to make before it's too late? With me being ashamed in the gospel is not just hurting myself, but I'm making sure that the people that I care about don't make it to heaven. I was watching a video a while back, and there was this man on an airplane. The caption of the video was, "What if all Christians had boldness like this?" This man went on to yell to everyone all the great things that Jesus had done for him, and gave the people on that plane the message of Jesus. He said, "Jesus Christ delivered me from a lifestyle of homosexuality, anxiety, depression, pornography." And then he went on to say, if he can do it for a nobody like me, then he can do it for anybody in this world. I want to have the feeling this guy had after spreading Jesus' word to all these people. This random guy that nobody knew changed lives and gave the people on that airplane a whole new perspective. We need to not be ashamed of the gospel and have the confidence to tell anyone, anywhere about Jesus Christ. God wouldn't give us this opportunity of spreading his word if he didn't want us to take it. We cannot be ashamed to spread the name of the one who loves us the most. The one that would die on that cross for each and every one of us. And did we deserve him dying on that cross? Of course not. But he still did it. Sometimes we need to look at ourselves and ask, where would I be without Jesus right now? Because the best parts of our lives is when Jesus is walking right beside us. This past summer was my first ever summer in a youth group, and it was the best one I've ever had. Having the ability to spend time with people who have the same goals as you is better than anything you could ever ask for. With summer just starting, I want to be able to surround myself with Christian examples, and I hope that you do too. Tonight, if you have found yourself not walking next to Jesus or being ashamed of the gospel, we want to help you in any way that we can.